Learning styles. Person to person, this learning style would be also different. Learning time would be different, as well as the learning style would be also different. What do you mean by that? You see, different categories are given there psychologically, which is identified from among the people. Physical, kinesthetic. That means some people, they use their body languages as to learn. Okay, they imitate their body languages. Okay, they use their body movements as to learn the theories, especially when it comes to physics. You can do that, right? Okay, and also the second one, musical or the auditory. Some people, they are okay, addicted with music sound. I don't encourage that, but that is also psychological stuff, right? So you have some music over your ears, and you work accordingly, or else within a rhythm you work. You know, even in science there are some, right? For the periodic table, for the reactivity series, we do have some rhythmic layers, so you can use them according to a rhythm you can work on. Or else even a statement when you are reading, okay, even a theory when you are learning, according to a rhythm if you learn, okay, that would be helpful for you. Because you know, our body functions are also happening rhythmically, and if you are using the words according to a rhythm, you can remember very well. And the next one is visual. Some people, okay, they can remember well just because of they are observing the steps they look for, right? Because of their visuals, they can remember very well. So what do you do? For science, when you come, there are many pictures, right? Some diagrams are there, images are there related to the human systems, right? Human bodies, animals, plants, there are images. So those images, okay, or related articles, as a diagram, as a printed form, you take on and you observe them frequently. Or even you can paste it over the walls where you will be always familiar with, or even on your mirror, right? Okay, because that is a place where always you will be looking at, right? Okay, so in a corner of your mirror, or even closer to that, you can have it. So whenever you are observing that, okay, it would be focusing on your mind. You know, in our mind, in our brain, we do have sensitive cells. For each and every observation, we do have sensitive cells, right? So these sensitive cells will be obtaining, they will be perceiving the messages and will be stored there. You know, from your birth until now and until you die, everything that you observe, observing means not only looking, right? All five sensory organs, right? All five sensory organs, what you get. So these observations will be definitely stored in your mind, okay, in your brain cells. And whenever you need, you can catch it up with, you can elevate them up. But the only thing is, you have to always use them frequently. Otherwise, it is something like you are lifting up with a number of files, okay, and the file, when it goes down, it is hard to take it up, like the same in certain government factories and all, you know, right? So what I say here, always, you know, you manage with all what you do, okay, all right. So as far as you observe them, you can remember very well. And the verbal, some, okay, some people are there, even among you, right? You can't visually learn, okay, it is hard for you, but you can verbally learn, right? The words, if you are uttering very well, you are louder, you read, okay, you are listening for what you read, okay, so that would be very much effective for you to learn well, for you to remember well. So you identify that whether you are a verbal person, okay. And a logical, mathematical, the next one. So some people, logically, they want to learn, they analyze, they compare what happens here. So they learn a theory, practically they look at the environment, they analyze, this is what happens, okay. For an example, let's say, for an example, let me say, a solar eclipse. You learn about solar eclipse. You know, I think everyone here, you do know a clear idea about the solar eclipse. So these days we do have solar eclipses as well as the lunar eclipses also taken place. So you learn them and you observe. You observe and you imagine yourself what happens here. Otherwise, you can't see all three planets at once, right? So you just imagine this is what happens. So practically you learn alike. Logically, you bring up your theories. So this would be also helpful for you. And also, in fact, you know, when it comes to science, you can learn science only because of two things. What are the two things? What do you think? Observation and imagination. Science has built up by these two concepts: observation plus imagination. You should observe the environment and you should be able to imagine of what happens. What is the reason for that? And that is how the scientific method comes on, right? Okay, so all the scientists, they have been got the name as a scientist because of these two. They observe the environment, they observe the change, what happens. all based on those observations, they have made some hypotheses. What do you mean by hypothesis? They are the imaginations. They imagine, what if this happened, what if that happened. Then they tested it out experimentally, they have found one conclusion. So this is how the scientific method comes on. So accordingly, logically, mathematically, you learn. So you identify whether you can do a lie. And the next one, social. You know, you'd like to learn things as a group. Okay, so engaging in a group, you would like to learn rather than individually. You learn. When you learn as a team, when you work as a team, you can reach your goal very well. If you are a person, if you are a socially developed person, you use that method. And solitary, opposite of that. Some people, if they are learning alone, individually, if they are working on, they can remember well, because they don't like any sort of disturbance for them. So being solitary, okay, they would like to learn. So identify whether you are a person alive. And at last, combination of two or more than these steps. Because everyone, all the people here, they won't be only engaged with one category. So they might be having two or more. So identify like that, which would be suiting for you to learn. Okay, so remember, this point is very important for you, because if you do not identify what is your learning criteria, learning style, and if you use any other strategies, you are going to, okay, you are not going to, I don't want to say that word, you are not going to, okay, achieve your goal as you expect. Okay, so this is the life truth I am saying, right? You have to very first identify what will be effective for you. Okay, what will be effective for you. So just imagine, if you are a person of visual learning, and if you are hardly learning with, you know, recordings, will it be working out? It won't work out, because your nature, your body functions are arranged with, your learning criteria is arranged with visual. Your mind setup is focused on visual. You know, you have learned about cerebrum, right? Cerebrum, the brain cells, that is a larger part of the brain. It is having the high mental activities. Okay, it is you know, it's controlling the high mental activities such as this learning power, the thinking, wisdom, knowledge, everything. So it's almost arranged accordingly. So you have to identify that, and according to that you have to work on. Okay, so that is one. So out of all these, let me take four major. What are they? Read and write, visual, auditory, kinesthetic. So read and write. If you are a person to, if you are a person having a well reading quality habit, and also you can write well, you practice that. Okay, you practice that. So read louder. Okay, read louder and write it again. Write it again. Okay, not the entire statement, but to short it out, you write it down. So it would be more helpful for you. And also, if you are a person with visual, as we said, you see there are some diagrams given here. You can observe the things related to the theoretical stuff that you learn, or you can have watched with the videos, the presentations, or whatever it is. So just like, you know, we are showing you the presentation, right? So you can identify now. Okay, practically I'm giving you one stuff now. So you can identify after this session. Okay, after this session, you see which you can remember. Okay. So we do have this session for a number of minutes, for an hour we'll be having show. So you just identify which part of this session you can remember well. Is it the presentation you can remember, or what I speak to you, you can remember? Okay. So then it is it may be a starting point where you identify your own strategy. Okay. And also auditory, you see the recordings in the sense, you can record the lectures that you are getting, or you can record a certain theory which you read. Okay, you can record it and you can listen for that again. And make sure one more thing here, if you are a person of this auditory learning, okay, record what you read, what you are having as the lectures. And I said you earlier, right, you have planned out with a certain time which is very effective for you. During that time, you listen for that. It would be very much, okay, deeply deposited in your mind. For example, let me say, okay, if I'm asking you what is the song you have listened at last, right? So different types, different songs will be. You know, sometimes you don't know the language even. No? You don't know the language even. You don't know Hindi or Urdu or whatever. You might be singing those songs. Why? Is it just because of you have learned the language? No. That is because of your interest, and that is because you are good in listening. You are good in auditory learning. Okay, 1 or 2 times you have listened for that music, okay, so you can repeat them perfectly. So make sure if you are a person of auditory learning, you follow up that method. And kinesthetic, engaging in these activities, all what you are learning out of what you are having at your home, use them, okay, practically as to engage. So sometimes you might be thinking like this, we don't have practicals at our school or wherever we learn. So that is not very much important for you. You know why? We don't have practical exams. This is an additional stuff which you can use as to learn, or you may be having a combination of two or more than these. So whatever it is, identify that and do it. I hope that everyone listening for me, let me give you a small idea for this. Look at me. Okay, look at me. Right? Look at me very clearly. I'm going to show you a small body language, body movement. Okay, accordingly, you repeat it. All right? For a while, keep calm and do what I say, right? And then you can identify a sort of learning skill which you have to be effective with. Right, listen carefully. I'm going to show you a body language. Okay. Everyone, show me your chin. Everyone, show me your chin. Right. If you have repeated with what I have done, okay, what you have done very first, what you have done very first, you know what you did. Whether you touched your chin or else whether you touched where I have shown, right? I have shown my over the head, towards the forehead, right? Okay. So if you did what I did, if you did what I did as shown on the video, right? You are a person of visual learning. You are a person of visual learning. So first what you did, that is the idea. That is the result for you. You are a person of visual learning. And if you did what I said, you are a person of auditory learning. You are a person of auditory learning. You never cared about what I did. You cared about what I said. Clear? So accordingly, this is a small experimental setup that you can identify your own strategy. So hope you got an idea about this. So make sure you follow up this method. Okay, right. And then let me go to the next one. If not you identified your effective time, your effective learning skill, this is what you're gonna be happen with. You would be depressed, you would be disappointed with your studies, you are not going to make it as you expected. Right?